Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Burning Questions. Joining me is the sensational, amazing, two of the biggest personalities I've ever seen, Noscavian and Tina.
I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, rolling in because his legs don't work is Nitro Typat.
I was waiting for you to say Miss Hearts.
Saving the best for last.
Ah,
And our very special guest, joining us straight after plunging the ring into Mount Doom, is of course Groundhog.
How close are you from there? Hobbitville or whatever.
That's in the North Island, I believe. But the filming location is about 100 kilometres north.
And as I said, saving the
Savvy
best for
people.
last is the fabulous, the amazing, the immortal No, it's Ms. Hearts.
Shiver. I'm almost out of wine.
But that doesn't matter, does it?
Shiv, you're right.
Yeah, that's
I
very
am really
important.
heavily influenced because I see Miss Hearts eat ice cream. I want ice cream. Miss Hearts has wine. Now I want wine.
I have
So
a
not
bottle
where
of
I thought you were
mead.
going with that.
Also, hi Tavi.
Also, whatever food Tina was eating, I want that too.
Well, it was pizza
That's what it
first,
looked like.
and then it was jalapeno tuna and wraps.
I'm hungry.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'm gonna have pizza again here in a second. So
Nitro, what are you going to do if we all start taking a walk around our room?
say
He's not that
have tired,
influenced.
not have tired legs. Say not have tired legs.
I'm sitting here like clever comeback, clever comeback, clever comeback, and Tina got one before I did.
Tell me why I can't turn you up in Discord.
The
Have you
pop-up
popped
player
it
is
out?
acting up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been acting up for. I accidentally muted Noscavian on my end at
I
one
did
point.
too.
You muted me.
I tried to turn you up and it wasn't moving, and so I just said screw it. And then for some reason it was like, "Oh, you wanted to move the volume to 0%? Okay."
You said on
I-
purpose. You said on purpose
This-
incorrecely.
This
Nitro,
happened
turn yourself up
last-
because I can't do it.
This happened during this session and during lead into this.
So, our last session. Things happened. Things didn't happen.
Session of what?
Of Masquerade the Vampire. A story
Ah,
set in a city...
MTV.
No,
The Vampire Masquerade?
that's the one. Noscavian,
Sure.
thoughts, feedback. What did you think of the last session? Anything stand out for you?
Yeah. The interrogation was awesome. I really enjoyed being able to use my power and rapidly decaying that guy. That was awesome.
It was super cool to finally see Isaac be a badass.
Yeah, like when I rolled and I saw I crit, I was like, oh shit. I was
Badass.
like, fuck, I rolled too many dice. So then I re-rolled and it was like so bad. But I'm glad Shiva went with the roll anyways. That was
Wait,
cool.
calling Isaac a badass because he did that is like saying Grandpa's a badass because he threw a cup when in reality he was shaking when he took it out of the thing and dropped it on the floor.
Yeah, but sometimes you just got to give Grandpa a little bit of leeway, make him feel good about himself, and call him a badass.
Grandpa can
Or you
be
could do what
bad.
I did and show him on the floor.
Oh, yeah, or that.
Oh yeah, I still need to heal up for that. You
I'm
did like
sorry.
half my health and superficial. But you know, probably more
nearly
than half
broke
my
his
health.
hip.
It's
Yeah.
been so long since we've actually been able to get Kalo into the game. He still has a humanity stain.
From Wonderland?
Is that from the coterie stain?
I don't even remember now at this point.
We
It's
all
been
we
so
all
long.
took a stain from the coterie doing something at one point. We killed an innocent, I think.
I think that was Christmas.
Yeah, that was yeah.
No, Tubby,
Taylor has humanity.
that's not how the stains work. The stains like a damage tracker. You have X amount of humanity that goes up this way. A stain goes that way, and then when they meet, that's when it starts going down. You can also just completely fuck something up, and your humanity will go down.
His heart knows about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at your humanity. Your humanity level 5.
Mm-hmm. That's why when you're trying to get us to react to the torture porn, I'm just like, meh, taggy. Don't care.
Nitro Typat.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, feedback on the last session?
I think last session was great. I think everything went as planned.
Any highlights or anything?
What were you playing?
I was playing Masquerade the Vampire, right? That's what we're playing? I wouldn't really say highlights. Last episode, we had to kind of interact with people that Amon pissed off, so I did my best just to keep my mouth shut. While also trying to catch Xavier up because Xavier wasn't there the week before. And then until I found out that Dante was supposed to be the guy that's really good at interviewing, I was ready to try and threaten the Google into giving us information, but that didn't go very well.
You wanted to repeat, oh, John.
Yeah, and it just, I wanted to, but I didn't know what information he could potentially give us. So I was just sitting there going, well, I don't know what to ask him, so I'm not going to threaten him yet because I can't threaten him and then have somebody else ask the question. So
Fair enough.
Now we've got to go on the offensive and wipe out the Second Inquisition, right, guys?
more fighting.
Not until
Friday.
not until the doctor gets a spanking and sits in timeout for 10 minutes.
See, all me.
But I thought he would get
all me
punished.
heard.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, no, he's Tremere, not whatever Dante is.
Toreador.
Tornado.
I'm remembering.
Xavier,
Toreador, Clan of the Road.
Xavier, any feedback, highlights, anything from the last session?
Yeah, you keep putting me in weird ass fucking dreams without letting me prepare for it, so I don't know how to react.
Well, I'm sorry. How many times do you have a weird ass dream and you're like, oh, tonight I'm going to have a weird ass dream. I need to be ready.
Yeah, but okay, touche. But it's
No, yeah. I mean, that is also kind of the point, is I need to put you in these weird ass situations just to see how you would respond.
and like majority of the people here saw this fucking Zemitzi, and then they look at me weird because I've got all my weapons on me finally. Like,
I have to
I
say,
haven't seen this.
I prepared the kitchen for you, and I laid out these hints of, the pots and pans are boiling. There's a fridge over there, and I was ready for all these shit to just happen when you go and look at the pots and the pans. And Zool was going to jump out the fridge at you, and you're like, "I'm going to go in the living room." What's in the living room? Oh shit! Oh shit!
no reason to be in the kitchen. I'm a man. I'm kidding.
That sounds like something Xavier would say.
Yeah, repeat that the next time your wife brings you pizza.
Oh, I will, because she'll know I'm joking. Like, yeah, I was laughing when I said it. But yeah, no, like legit had no reason to be in the kitchen though. You put me in my house, the first thing he's gonna think about is his daughter. Like, if she's in the kitchen, get out, you'll burn yourself. You know what I mean? So
you should have checked the microwave. There was probably a shoe.
puts a shoe in a microwave?
Very lost single men.
Yeah. Bachelors. Like, Shiver must have done this at one point.
No, it was Dave Lister from Red Dwarf.
No.
Ah, that explains a lot.
I have no
Miss
idea what you
Hartz.
guys are talking about.
You don't know Red Dwarf?
You don't know Red Dwarf.
I
Like
don't
the
even
You
star?
don't know Red Dwarf?
I don't even
The
know. No, oh, I probably heard of it. I just mainly mean the shoe in the microwave thing. I don't get it.
I really don't either.
Ms. Hartz, thoughts, feedback, highlights from the last session?
Highlights. It was weird. It was weird doing a very Tremere focused thing without it being a Tremere focused thing. If that makes sense. It wasn't very Tremere-y. I did love doing the good cop, bad cop thing, even though it's like 5 bad cops and 1 good cop.
And an old
But
man
it's
with a
always
death
fun to do
fetish.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty
Fair
much.
enough. Anything, in particular stand out for you personally from the last session?
I mean, it really was fun seeing Isaac use one of his signature powers. And
Yeah.
and I had to say something about the torture porn.
But someone at
Although,
least reacted to
just
it.
like, yeah,
You mean the art?
yeah. Art.
It was the point of it
Really?
was finding the art in suffering.
Also, it's called smut.
Mm.
Well, I thought it was called Snuff.
Yeah, I thought it was called snuff.
It's called snuff.
Snuff.
I thought snuff was stuff you put in your mouth that was the little baggies instead of actually putting.
Actually, fun fact, it's called snuff because most people actually snorted it up their nose.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, instead of actual chewing tobacco, they made snuff, which is little bags of tobacco you put in your thing.
Snuff was slightly different.
Also,
in
I
the UK.
think chewing tobacco is like the grossest thing ever.
Half my family does it. It's really gross.
Like gag reflex. Gross.
hmm
What
Groundhog.
happens if you actually swallow it?
You get really nauseous.
Yes. Yes.
As a special guest, thoughts, feedback, highlights, anything.
Anything? So I really enjoyed the session. I really enjoyed seeing Isaac just turn the person into just rotting pile of whatever. Just seeing how blunt the fucking party is. The coterie is about.
We're all blunt in our different ways.
Yes. You're all, the thing I keep remembering is my character had no idea what your characters were, and just said, just comes in saying, "I've heard so much about you. Be great to work with you." And everyone's just going, "What terrible things have you heard about us?"
And then we start punching walls and turning people into goo.
Yes.
So now, look, next time, Nitro, I ask you, what is this weird goo? You can say, I know who did that.
Yeah. Nitro, did you ooze again?
Man,
So,
maybe we should start a garden if we have a source of compost. Then we
Oh,
can
we're
have
gonna be that kind of pub.
we can have organic, farm fresh, veggies for our
Kroger.
pub.
what'll a kindred gonna grow? Blood oranges?
No,
Welcome
see,
to the
you use
Vitae vegetable
people.
patch.
We will be the only pub in town
could.
that has a produce market.
So you're going to have
How's
a produce market and a
Frogurt stand.
Frogurt stand and alcohol. I don't think you've got a good business plan here.
Actually, I think so. We're going to be a farmer's market with liquor.
Mm-hmm.
And Frogurt.
Make our
Nighttime.
own liquor.
Nighttime farmer's market with liquor. You know, that would go over well in Austin.
We could make our own alcohol with some of the fruit.
Yeah. But I know Shiv was joking about blood oranges, but I don't think it would work in the climate either. But hypothetically, if we could grow an orange tree, we could just ghoul that orange tree.
Feed me,
I
Seymour.
What's really funny is like whatever alcohol we end up making, we could literally write on the bottle, "People are our foundation."
Foundation. Like label it like it's some sort of like drink made by and made for like hardworking people, but really what it means is it's made with people.
Soylent Blue.
Dead people liquor.
Soylent Brown, a brown ale.
What were all the Soylents?
So, Groundhog, now that
Uh,
you've been in a game and you've got a different perspective of things, where do you see it going in the future? What do you hope is going to happen in the future?
Is that question to me? Or
No,
everyone?
that's Groundhog, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Where do I think it's going to go in the future? I have no clue.
Any hopes?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
I'm just happy to see where it goes.
All right. There's absolutely nothing you can think of that you would say, you know, I kind of like to see that. I kind of like to see Xavier get his hand trapped in a door or something.
Tell us how
I'd
you
like
really
to
feel, Chipper.
see Isaac.
You know me. That was
Um,
very restrained.
I'd like to see Isaac suffer a little bit, and I want to see Xavier suffer a little bit. Because they're
Oh,
the
God,
two
he is-
characters
What
I
the
like the
fuck?
most.
He is a Toreador.
More?
Yeah,
Chipper has apologized to me the most out of everybody. Like,
He didn't make you kill
I mean-
Caleb's dog.
you
here's
asked
the
to kill
thing.
a dog.
It
You
wasn't
want the two-
Caleb's dog. Sorry.
You want your two the two favorite characters to suffer the most in an RP, right?
Wait, there are two?
It adds drama.
Yeah, Isaac first, then Xavier.
Well, yeah, but nobody's excited to see the doctor get punished.
Yeah, I'd be excited.
The silence
to see that,
spoke
actually. I
volumes.
didn't even
there.
think about that.
The immediate silence was like, "No, really? Okay."
Well, I feel
Okay.
bad saying it because, you know, my character doesn't necessarily like his clan in the game.
No.
I think I'm
This is a meta thing because, like, you know, given his character, he was told to do something on his
Yeah,
own,
nice.
and he didn't. Like, he knew better.
It'll be a nice retribution.
Yeah, like he knew better, and here we are. So
You just want to see him over Etheldred's knee as he gets a spanking.
that would be hilarious.
Ms.
I
Hart.
kind of wish Cedra, in a way, I wish Cedra would be there for it, but in a way I don't because I never trust being around Tremere because of the whole. So yeah, gonna try and shove me under the bus for being someone's sire, huh? Yeah, have fun with that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Ms. Hart, what about you? Based on last episode and things, where do you see it going, or what do you hope to see in the future?
Oh Lord. I mean, I know things.
I mean, that would really
I don't
burn if
wanna
you
say,
saw the Lord.
But that's
think that
true.
door hurt?
Seeing, yeah. Or what was it? That angel that the sheriff was fighting with that one time.
Can I tell you what that is yet? Have you not figured that out?
I think you did tell us
can't
what it
remember
was. I
enough
don't
about it.
remember.
It was-
I wasn't there for it.
It was the Second Inquisition agent.
Oh yeah, you told
I
me.
think you did tell us.
Ah,
That,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Second Inquisition agent with true faith.
Yeah. And that was after he was gone. I still couldn't crawl, so.
So, but yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, future things happen. Like what?
Future things. I'm kind of excited for us to go back to our domain and focus on that a little bit.
Yes,
I like
because-
our whole little story within a story, little family thing we got going. Poor Dolores. I feel sad for Dolores.
Okay. Xavier. Future happenings and stuff. Do you want me to go to someone else? Oh no. Okay.
No, it's fine. I had to introduce a new employee. Sorry, I'm done. Never not working. What I'm looking forward in the future?
Or where do you see it going in the future, based on the last episode?
Fuck if I know. It's another thing.
I'm also looking forward to Isaac bringing that ghost back.
Oh yeah.
Maybe,
Maria.
yeah.
Well, Groundhog
Oh,
has
yeah.
just become my favorite person ever.
No!
Oh.
I don't get it.
Speaking of that,
no.
I actually got my shirt the other day, and I'm wearing it.
Yes!
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Fucking
No.
Barry.
I really do need to make you that shirt now that just says "I'm Harry and I want to die."
If we all have to make new characters at some point, someone has to have hands.
Right? I think it's funny
Go away.
because Xavier, or Tina's talking about his next character might be a Nosferatu. He should just play Harry.
Tavi's
I don't
just
see
said,
Tina doing
he
the
could be-
accent.
Tavi's
He
just
could
said
be the
that
Harry's
she wants to
child.
make a mental note to not work on a character when she's agonizing over the state of the world. And okay, perhaps not this one, because this is a pretty major one, to be fair. But
Hmm.
something that's not quite so harsh. Yeah, it's actually pretty good, because a flawed character, a dramatic character, is a character that's going to really shine best in World of Darkness.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's been times that I have regretted not making my character more emo.
Don't
Still
do
can.
it. Then you always feel angry. It's sad.
Well, it's more
I always
like,
feel angry
you know,
and sad.
Shiver was asking me questions about my background, like, you know, whether anyone abused you or anything like that. I'm like, no. Cedra in her mortal life was a loser. She was a wallflower, no one paid attention to her. She might have got bullied a little bit, but no one significant. She was just a loser.
No wonder Amon gets along with her so well. Jeez. Amon in his human life was the same. He was a loner. He didn't do anything.
But she had her nose in a book all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking losers.
Pop up Kama Sutra.
That's a book.
The book.
I mean, if you had your nose in it all the time, was it the scratch and sniff Kama Sutra?
Please tell me that's a thing.
You know, I remember There was one point, I can't remember if it was incense or a perfume or a candle or something, but I say it was Spencer's, had a sex-scented candle or incense or something.
Well,
I was
Gwyneth
just like,
Paltrow
no.
did a candle scented about her vagina.
Yeah, no, I don't want to smell that. If I'm smelling that, it better be my own.
What's even weirder is
yeah.
her company is supposed to be all about like health benefits. What health benefit does that give you? Like, I know that
I'm
most of
really
her stuff
confused.
is snake oil anyway, but like, what's that supposed to do?
I mean,
I walked away to grab a beer. I came back to candle scented vagina.
Gwyneth
No, other
Paltrow
way
is
Well,
a
it's
around.
just
Vagina
vagina.
scented candle.
Oh.
sex releases stress, so I would assume just the smell of something sexual relieves stress too.
But wouldn't it
But
increase
if
sexual
you don't
tension?
actually have the hormones. Like, you don't have the hormones to go with the smell, so
Yeah.
Do you know how to make a
it
hormone?
wouldn't be there. It'd feel
Huh.
empty.
We're
I know where this is going.
we're mammals. Like
Pay
they
her
draw
50
beer
bucks?
out with deer piss.
Don't pay her.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
deer
know what
piss
the
actually has
answer
the
was, but-
hormones in it.
Mm-hmm.
So a candle.
It
That
depends on
smells
how they
like
captured the
vagina.
scent.
Yeah, and it was invented by Tony Stark's wife.
Hey, Star Helix. Nitro. Moving swiftly
Yeah.
along from candle vaginas.
You got us on that topic.
I did.
right after
I did.
Xavier too. Like,
Didn't think it was going to stick, but yep.
ew.
Nitro. Future happenings, hopes. What do you think or hope for? Apart from vagina-scented candles.
I already know some things that are happening in the future, which I just remembered I still need to do. I have a feeling I just have to write it so I can read it at the beginning of the game. I forgot we're doing the game on Saturday this week. I have an extra day. Whew. I thought I only had one day to do it. So that'll be interesting. That's not really a hope or a looking forward to. That's a, man, I wonder what's going to come out of this. Other than that, I'm really excited to see what the whole coterie thing where we're going to try and upgrade our domain a little bit, kind of reorganize. Other than that, I don't know.
Pascal, can you get a clip of that?
I was
Oh,
even thinking, what
God. I shook a bottle.
At a sideways
I keep
angle.
telling you, stop blood bonding him, and this won't happen anymore.
It just hasn't worn off yet.
It's because I haven't tried resisting. Yeah, I'll get back to that one actually. Luscavian, yourself, future hopes or possible
Future
alternate
hope.
timelines.
I'm looking forward to the stuff we're gonna get to with the Cult of Mythos. Hopefully, figuring out and solving the Ripper. I'm also looking forward to Isaac doing more like stuff with the dead and ghosties and stuff like that, and possibly maybe having like I don't know if some of the stuff he does right now can necessarily hurt his humanity, but if I keep putting points into it, eventually I can do stuff that'll pretty handedly destroy my humanity.
You need hints?
If I may interject real quick, because I did forget something. I'm looking forward to interactions with the Second Inquisition at some point, because that could lead
That'll be
that could
interesting.
lead
Yeah.
to that'll lead to some interesting stuff. for Amon, and I think that the Second Inquisition is just something that I'm personally interested in. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
I'm not expecting that.
I second that interest.
No one-
The
no one-
Second Inquisition is one of
I got it.
Sorry.
I got it. No
I
one
get it,
expects the
too.
Spanish
Right.
Inquisition.
Oh yeah,
I completely missed
Um,
what was being said.
yeah. With V5, one of the things I thought was really cool, meta plot wise, was the resurgence of the Inquisition, and the fact that humanity is actually dangerous. So yeah, I'm actually
I remember
really
you talking about
excited
that before.
to
Because
see
they have like
what
they're not just like scary priests with swords. They have guns and
the-
military stuff, and
And you
They
can't touch
freaking-
rounds.
they did a missile strike on the chantry, the
Mhm.
prime chantry in Vienna. Like
Mhm.
the fuck?
The sausages.
Trust you to go to the worst case.
I'm just remembering now an episode of Invader Zim where they all turn into sausages.
Oh, that episode was weird.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was.
Another thing I always look forward to, Traven's knowledge. Whenever that pops up in chat.
We're gonna start getting it in the game now.
He's supposed to be a secret guest.
You're muted, T.
We just need to create a bot and then have Traven go put all of that stuff in something so it auto does it for him, and he could just sit back and drink the rest of the night.
There we
I
go.
think he likes being his own bot.
Hmm. He might also like just to drink more too.
Celisk says he wants to know what the Ripper is, finally, or if it has a connection to the cult, or if that is just a separate occurrence.
That's
Muscavian,
valid.
Any new theories about the Ripper?
Like my joke theory or a real theory?
Any, as long as
What's
it's
your
new.
joke theory?
Oh, my joke theory is
Cyborg
that it's actually
werewolves.
Vega from Street Fighter.
Oh, that.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
bring up the cyborg werewolves again.
Oh yeah, the cyborg werewolves. That's another one. Yeah, the Second Inquisition's run by the technocracy, and they've captured a guru and cybernetically augmented it so that they can mind control it and run it around as a kindred killing war machine.
For all you guys know,
It's
that's
not
exactly
that.
what Amon thinks it is.
Nitro, new Ripper theories?
Mm-hmm. As a player, I still think that it feels kind of connected to the whole Mithras thing. As a little bit of meta knowledge, because I know that the Ripper is supposed to be like our overall story, and this Mithras stuff is kind of just the Doctor's little side quest.
It
means
didn't
that
start
they
out
might-
just being the Doctor's side quest, though.
True. Well, I mean, we in our look for trying to find the girl Monique, we ended up just getting pointed in the direction of the cult. So, but I kind of like some of our more grounded but extreme theories of it being like a gargoyle or like a really really old gangrel or something like that. Amon still just thinks it's a werewolf. He doesn't care what anybody says. He hates them.
Yeah, I mean, two theories that I personally think are probably pretty valid, given that we know it is kind of related to Kindred, but not exactly Kindred, and it's old, is kind of some of the hints we got. That definitely leads me to believe either gargoyle or some sort of like Sesmisi fleshcraft creature. It might not be either of those, but that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Actually, yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to what the Zemixi has to do with all this, because like it seems kind of integrated.
I do just love
somehow.
the Zemeetsi, so
Yeah.
That
He
and,
just wants to be
I mean,
Xavier's new baby daddy. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with anything else.
I know.
I know,
Stop
but
hugging
during
and
that,
stuff. He's like, come to Papa.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
why is he Greek?
I don't exactly remember what Zemeckis look like, but from Shiver's description during the dream sequence, I remember him mentioning the long, like blade type fingers.
You
and
know,
I just got Edward Scissorhand vibes.
envision every black metal guitarist out there without the makeup.
so
I think that's a picture Shiver actually used. So really long, shitty hair and just ugly.
Oh,
so
okay. I pictured it more as a
Sorry,
creature than
Shiver.
a humanoid.
Nitro, picture
Mhm.
anything you want, and that's what it looks. Because I mean, Sesmisi, they literally sculpt.
They're kind of
Flash.
shapeshifters. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
they-
this
they
specific
look
one
like
we had a
anything
picture
they
for.
want.
Yeah, but that's what I was wondering. Is like I figured that they were kind of sculpted creatures, but I wasn't sure if how humanoid they were compared to how monstrous they are.
It varies greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they start off entirely human. Like they would start off much
Yeah.
like your character or my character. In fact, their embrace doesn't. They're not even like the Nosferatu. Their embrace doesn't physically change them at all. They just have a discipline that allows them to basically craft flesh like
Oh.
clay.
That's
And
one of the
apparently-
older ones of Sasha Vikos.
That just looks like John 5 on stage with Rob Zombie.
And so since they can basically kind of craft any look they desire, it kind of is somewhat intoxicating. So they always want to perfect themselves. And then as they become less and less human, they start perfecting themselves in more and more alien ways, typically.
Mm-hmm. I actually really like characters like that. I think they're really interesting. Oh, I remember that picture of that in the book, I think. But yeah, like that sounds very similar to most like transhumanism concepts in sci-fi and whatnot. So that's really cool.
Miss Hart. Any new
Let's
Ripper
go.
theories?
I really like the doctor's idea that the Zemeetsi has something to do with it. As soon as he said that, it was like a oh moment.
I mean, he did have like Edward Scissorhand fingers, I think.
Xavier?
It's a Mon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Xavier thinks it's Amon thinks it's a
like
werewolf.
he's been called out, so he stopped. The only people to say anything different are the fucking Camarilla camis, and nobody fucking believes anything they've said. So, yeah, it's probably a Mon still.
Oh, the
he
Camarilla
got bounced.
Camis.
It's the baseball team.
Yeah.
Xavier's over there like, the Rippers stopped doing murders. Amon's been drafted into the Camarilla. They're gonna use him as a weapon. They know it's him, and they want him on their side.
That's very hairy conspiracy theorist, but yeah.
Oh, I wasn't
Groundhog
Very
telling you an
Xavier.
idea. I'm not telling you an idea. I'm reading the script Shiver sent me.
Groundhog,
So-
do you have any new Ripper theories? Any
Yeah,
Ripper
I do.
theories?
Given what happened last week, it's either Isaac, it's Shiver, inserting his own OC, or it's some clumsy person with, those fake fingernails, just falling into people.
Wait, I want to
Have
hear
fun,
this.
my dear.
How is it, Isaac? I'm just curious.
You just
You just turned
Melted.
someone into.
melted somebody.
That
You could
doesn't
easily
correspond
rip
with what we
people.
found at the Ripper scenes.
Technically,
Yeah, we were trying.
up until now, we didn't know what the fuck Isaac did. He was worthless.
Well, now we know he
Thanks.
makes soup
Thanks.
out of people.
Yeah, I
He
can make
makes
soup,
soup.
guys.
No soup for you.
Xavier's like, I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, I
Go
can
back
make
to boring.
I can make that nutrient concentrate for our garden.
Mm.
Wake up in the morning and we're wanting a human smoothie. Hey, Isaac.
Yeah, turn humans to liquid fertilizer. Grow farm fresh lettuce and tomatoes for the bar.
Isaac's farm.
People are our foundation.
Blood watermelons. They're already red. Nobody will suspect a thing.
Blood watermelon.
Oh man,
And you can freeze
Oh,
them.
we can-
You have watermelon pops that are blood.
We can grow them in cubes
and we
and
can
say
have
they're
vodka.
imported from Japan.
Yeah. No. No, because then when the
Yeah, we
Gaki
don't-
come around, it's bad news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you get these at?
Oh, fast car.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
Question for
Looks
each
out the
of player
window, it's on
characters.
fire. Fast cart makes racist joke.
Question for each of the player characters. I'm going to start with Cedra because we've already discussed this, so she will know her answer. But what is your character, Cedra's beast? Who is Cedra's beast? What is the voice that Cedra is?
Oh. So, that's why Cedra doesn't like dogs. Her beast is just a dog girl. That she was, when she was a child, she experimented with magic, which is how she got into how she was embraced, basically, and was so bookish. And one of the spells she did made the family dog absolutely hate her. But the family did nothing about it. So she was terrified of that dog for the rest of her life.
New
No,
theory.
that's for real life.
Cedra is the Ripper.
Because I don't like dogs? I'm trying to frame a dog?
Because your beast is a dog.
You bitch.
I guess that would make Cedra our new lead.
Ruh-roh.
You want to be careful the constable doesn't collar you.
Wait, does that mean you're Shaggy, Amon?
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you?
We gotta paint the car.
So Isaac,
That's the Ripper! The Ripper is Scooby Doo!
Isaac's going to paint the
We're
car, you were
gonna-
saying, Groundhog.
pardon?
You were saying something about
I-
painting the car.
No, that was me.
Oh,
So we gotta paint the car.
sorry, you sound so similar.
We're gonna have to paint it like the Mystery Machine, but in
Yep.
red, and it's gonna be called the Masquerade Machine.
Yes.
That's not a breach at all.
Well, we could
I
just
mean-
if we keep a bunch of masks in there, we could be like a touring carnival show. We just have one member with talent.
I mean, that is what she does. It's a touring carnival show.
We can have, at the beginning of Phantom of the Opera, they have the little clappy thing playing the real creepy version of Masquerade. That could be the music coming out of the van. It'd be like an ice cream truck, but not really.
Hmm.
Frogurt mystery movie.
Blood Frogurt.
No,
Blood Frogurt mystery movie.
I was going to say that you're worried about the masquerade breaches right now. You've got like, oh god, I've forgotten the name of the character now. Amon constantly is on the horn. I think that's a masquerade breach.
It's 3
When
a.m.
he
and I'm
first
just
got this car, there was a problem with the muffler, and we made him fix
Hmm.
it.
although I think that was just a misunderstanding on the storyteller's part.
Yeah, but it turned into being something funny.
It was funny.
Xavier. Who does Xavier hear for a beast?
I've never been asked that question. I wasn't prepared for this, but I would probably say almost
I'm
identical
fine
to what a
with that.
sire is
That makes
because
sense.
he hates him so much.
That's what I figured as well.
Hey, on the same page. I am fucked.
Yeah, I honestly
No,
hadn't
Xavier
given
is.
it much thought, but I would imagine it would probably be either what he would see as like his soul, or like, because he does necromantic stuff, kind of like the darkness inside of him, maybe. But I think something spirit related would kind of fit his character. So maybe like a black soul, like his soul that is just like he's being nice, but really on the inside, when his beast comes out, he's
See, I thought you were going to say Pitt the Younger.
hit the young.
Hmm.
That sounds so familiar. I should know this. I'm sorry.
He usually remembers more than the rest of us.
Yeah, he just mispronounces names.
Nitro.
Okay. UK Prime Minister. I don't have that kind of
Yeah,
education.
from
I'm
what
sorry.
century?
From the 18th century, 1700, which is the 16th century? Or
18.
18th century. 18th century. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18th.
Yeah, that was a joke. An 18th century prime minister. Really? You've never heard of Pitt the Younger?
No.
No.
The name
does it-
kind of.
When it comes to history in your country, does it like, so there was some shit happened, doesn't matter. 1776?
Pretty much.
Oh, God.
much.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it, yeah.
The history in the U.S., they gloss over everything except what happened in the U.S.
I
Mhm.
mean, the UK isn't that much better, but they are pretty much, so there's European history, here's some of this, and then shit happened, but it is focused mostly on the UK, but not solely.
Could be Germany,
The-
where there's just a bunch of torn out pages in the middle of all the history books.
What happened between 1939 and 1945? Nothing. We were all on holiday. It was lovely, glorious times. We went to the beach.
And also we invented the punch buggy.
Nitro
And
Who is
Fanta.
our
mom's
Don't forget
beast?
Fanta.
Oh yeah, Fanta.
and the Volkswagen Beetle.
That's what I meant by punch buggy. I don't know why I called it the punch buggy.
Ah.
But I'm a bit in Xavier's camp with this, is where I never even thought about this. So I've been trying to think of what it would be since you asked Cedra, and I don't know.
It's
I could
probably a
literally
Rupala.
I would probably pull a cop out and just say it's his sire. Because I mean, knowing a
But you don't
mom's
know your
backstory,
sire, do you?
I mean, from when it happened, I do, but that's about it. Because that
You're
was
not
a
on
pretty
first name
traumatic
basis with him.
experience. Yeah,
Does Amon remember his life? Like his childhood
Yeah.
and stuff?
yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't.
You don't
I hadn't
remember
There's
really
a
killing
memory
Killer's dog.
thing.
I didn't really write Amon's entire life story. I kind of just was like, adult life got turned into a vampire because this happened. Now I'm here.
I mean, I
know
was kind of that way with Cedra.
This story starts
wasn't until-
start from the bottom. Now we're here.
Mhm.
It
I
wasn't
know
until
things-
it wasn't until
I-
Shiver started asking me did I start thinking about the beast thing. Otherwise, I'm like, she was just a loser. She has no backstory.
Mm.
The ironic thing is, especially
not-
in Nitro's case, a couple of months ago he was watching Seattle by Night, and he actually asked me, "Hey Shiv, why don't you ever ask
Yeah.
us who our beasts are?" And so it's like he actually asked
When you-
me that question first, and now that I've asked him, he's like,
Yeah.
hmm.
To be fair, you also said, "Oh, because I don't think of the beast the way they do it in that game. This and that, blah 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 blah." So I was like, "Okay, well, the beast isn't important then." So I didn't think of mine. I mean, it's important, but like the identity of the beast isn't important.
I think when
Nitro's beast is elder. It's going to devour his.
I think when it came to
Mhm.
Seattle by Night, Jason Carl was a bit more hands-on with the creation of his character, with the player characters in that game, than I was with you.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that's how you explained it, which made a lot of sense.
So Groundhog, tell us about you.
Yeah.
Do you have any previous background experience in VTM or
What's
TTRPGs
your
in general?
beast sound like?
What's my beast? I don't fucking know.
Peter Jackson really pissed off.
I can tell you my real life beast, but then we'll really get depressing. That's why I made Caesar a loser.
Taco. Angry taco.
To actually answer the question, I have no prior experience with VTM. I knew that it existed. I may have read the system before because I think I remember the system, but I don't remember reading any of this, the background for the world until starting to watch this game. I have a long history of various different systems. It's a very long list, but includes stuff like Shadowrun, Savage Worlds, of course D&D, but that was really, really late. I never was really all that interested in D&D. Neither were the groups that I was playing. Cypher, a few others in there. Hell, I've even played fucking Maid RPG. So I've got a little bit of a history with role playing before this, but not VTM itself.
Okay. What did you think of? I mean, not that you were able to get much in there, but you said you enjoyed it. How did you find VTM different or even similar to other systems that you've played?
So, oh god, how much detail to go into?
Oh, quite a bit. We're still early, so go for it.
I could go on for hours about.
Okay,
All right,
well,
let's
we've got
go.
an hour and a half at least.
Peace.
I'll settle in.
I have a bag of liquor.
If you need any books for reference, I've got them behind me.
You know you're an alcoholic, Wayne.
No,
I fished
so
them out of the
I'm
system.
not an alcoholic, I'm a lush. There's a difference.
I really enjoyed. From a world perspective, I really enjoy it. It's set because it's set in a modern setting. I can actually get my head around it, unlike D&D. I just can't get my head around fantasy settings for some reason. In the future settings, sure. Historical settings, sure. Fantasy, just can't for some reason. I don't know. From a system basis, it seems like one of the more complex systems. Seems like it was developed, like the base idea of the system, the rolling multiple D10s. I'm guessing that came about in the 1990s from what I saw of it, because that just seems to be how those sort of systems arise. Stuff like Shadowrun started getting a lot of popularity, like rolling lots of dice. So I can see if I was playing that in person, it would be a bit of a slog. But then again, it seems relatively like actually streamlined. So yeah, like those roles do not have a lot of addition, a lot of like you can sort of go by just looking at it and go, oh, it's that many successes roughly, and it should be fine. So
I like
that's,
the
that's really good.
simplicity of it, but I find it a little frustrating because at least in D&D, when your character isn't good at something, you can still attempt it, and then there's that like low percentage chance that maybe you roll a 20. But in this system, it's like, nope, you don't even have enough dice to even try.
You have a like this is the thing with these sort of systems. The same is true with like the D6 system of Shadowrun.
Mhm.
You're getting a trade-off between having like lots of randomness, a pure flat
Mhm.
line. Like you'll get a 20 as often as you get, a 1 sort of thing. On average, you're actually rolling dice, so you could roll it in a certain way and get more, but that's beside the point. Because like that will give you a lot of randomness in your results, but it doesn't reflect actual skills, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Whereas if you've got
True.
really good skills, it will be a normal distribution. You'll, on average, be about as average as you usually are. You won't.
Mhm.
You'll sometimes be a bit worse. You sometimes be a bit better, and that's what these sort of systems tend to have. I sort of prefer these sort of systems to D20 systems, but like there are some really well done D20 systems out there, like Cypher. I really dislike D&D to a certain extent. D&D 5th edition, fine. D&D 3.5, never play it. I'm very, very opinionated on role playing systems.
I
I've had that discussion though with other D&D players before about you could be the super skilled player, super expert in this thing, yet you can still roll a critical fail. It's like if in real life, if you're the super expert, you're not going to fail that bad. I mean, it's such a small chance.
I mean, you can still do that in VTM as well, as we've done before, where it's like, yeah, I have 6 die, but I rolled 0 successes.
I mean,
Yeah.
VTM, it can get to the point where the storyteller looks at your sheet and he says, well, you've maxed this out. When it comes to just picking a simple lock, there's no point there could be a point in saying roll the dice. Maybe you're under duress, stress, or you're just trying to do it quickly. Roll the dice
Or
then.
Isaac decides to try it.
Or Isaac decides to try it. But if it's just regular normal circumstances and you're just trying to break into a place, you've got the maxed out thing, really the storyteller should be aware of that and say, no, that's an automatic success, don't even bother rolling, because it's not dramatic. At least in VTM, the dice are there to add a bit of drama to a result.
Right. And I think that's actually really fun. My only complaint is, it's probably only because Amon's been put in a lot of these situations recently where it's like, all right, make this roll. And it's like, I don't have any dice for that, so I'm just going to fail. I'll take the loss.
The other option you can do with that in VTM is you can succeed at cost, whereas you would normally fail. You can negotiate with the storyteller and say, look, I would like to succeed at this, but normally I would fail. Can I succeed at a certain cost? And you could, say, well, it would be a messy critical in essence, and all right, you succeed, but an anvil drops on your head or something.
Yeah, I think a lot of games have systems for stuff like that. The one that I've been working on, they specifically call it in the rule book like power at a cost, where it's like, yeah, you can get that done, but something bad's gonna happen.
There's other systems out there that have similar sort of thing, except you don't have a cost. You have like some sort of point system or some sort of currency that you can trade off.
Star Trek Adventures is like that, where we have what's it?
Is it? I can't tell.
It's been a while.
Sorry about that. I still need to get familiar with that system so I can bring it back.
Not Threat. What's the other one?
Momentum.
Momentum? Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, players have the momentum system where they can spend a momentum point for certain advantages on a roll or even in a given situation. And the GM has his own, which is called Threat.
There's a similar system in Savage Worlds, which is the Benny, I believe, and there's a similar system in Cypher. which I can't remember the name, but yeah, you get certain advantages. You can like double the amount of die, or you know, have some sort of modifier to it or something. I can't remember. Right off the top of my head, I'd have to go back and look at those systems. But yeah, no, VTM is very much seems like it's set up very well for what it's trying to do, which is a storyteller
Mhm.
and a the players role playing as characters rather than necessarily what D&D would be set up for, which is more aimed at combat and having a streamlined, like 5th edition is definitely aiming at streamlined combat.
Mm.
Could be even more streamlined than it is, but then you're starting to get into something like Cypher, which really streamlines the hell out of the system, but it makes it almost impossible to have like player on player conflict and other things like
Yep.
that. It's a it really a lot of these systems are very much you need to find what's sort of best for your
Yeah,
you.
the game I'm working on, it's called Lancer, and as a DM, when you're putting enemies for your players, they specifically state they're like, do not use like player loadout stuff for enemies because that is going to one be boring and two be difficult.
Hmm.
And so they have an entire section where they're like, here's NPCs. They have their own specific stats that you don't change unless you really want to. And so yeah, I get what you mean.
But no, I do love like just from my limited interactions with it now, I do actually really like VTM as a system for what it's designing. They're like they designed it well, I would say, for what they want to do with it.
I really enjoy the fact that we've had multiple times games where we don't even roll die. We just
Yeah.
we just kind of play.
I'm a firm believer of if you're doing something like an RP type thing and you can get away with 0 rolls, then that's pretty good. Like, of course, you're going to need rolls at certain points, but so long as it's not breaking the action too much, which it certainly wasn't, or when I was playing at least last session. So yeah, that's a good sign of a system designed
I mean,
for role play.
even the combat is meant to just be 3 turns and out in VTM.
Yeah.
The emphasis is most definitely not on combat in VTM. Sorry, Nitro.
Oh, I was like, I wasn't trying to talk. Why are you saying sorry?
Josina,
One thing I
you like
really
that.
like about VTM is I like when we get the Beast or Messy Criticals. I hate it for my
Mhm.
character, but it adds fun and drama to the game. It adds
Yeah,
that oh
like-
shit moment.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the game is very, you are your character, play your character how your character would act, but it's kind of fun to have a little thing thrown in there every once in a while where it's like, all right, yeah, act like your character, but your character is experiencing this right now, so you have to act that out.
That's one of
Well, that's-
Xavier's things that he does that I really like is he might have a shitload of willpower stored up, but when it comes down to, doing a Messy Critical or the Beast, he'll look at it and go, no, I'm going to play that one out instead of do anything and correct it. I like that.
I've been
That's
trying to
part
do
of the
that
reason.
too.
That's part of the reason I really like Xavier as a character. Also because he's an asshole as a character. Like, so just to get off track, I was playing Shadowrun at one point with a group, and my favorite character out of that group was the arsehole racist character, because the guy played it perfectly on that line between being obnoxious and being just not a good racist character, sort of thing, and just playing it perfectly along that line and being that arsehole. And everyone, like, as a player, you hate that character, but as a as if you take a step back from the game, you go, Yeah, it's the asshole character that they're putting some conflict into the party, and I really enjoy
There's
that.
always a really good character that you'll love to hate.
Joffrey.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just a firm
Mhm.
believer because I do a lot of D&D stuff like that. You know, D&D is a lot more roles. And hi, honey. I'm not a believer that like ones are bad, right?
Mm.
I think a critical fail is just as good as a critical success, and it helps actually give your character personality. Because we as humans are not perfect, so your character would not be perfect, and sometimes they'd fucking miss, or they would stumble, even though they're really good at stealthing and stuff like that. And in BTM, I play a Bruja. His beast is going to come out more often than others, and so when it comes out, I'm not going to say, no, I want to be perfect with this, you know? So same with messy criticals. Like we're kind of angry. I guess if I was playing Tremere or something, it'd be a little bit different where they try to maybe try to quell stuff a little more, but yeah.
Yeah, because the Tremere like perfectionists.
I mean that whole thing with the beast and the compulsion, that completely changed that interrogation. I mean, it brought it to an end, but it completely changed it.
Within
Yeah, I had to be
BTM,
frustrated as a Mon, but as a player, I was just like, "Good job, Isaac. That was good. I like that."
and within BTM, there are different. Sorry, go on, Groundhog. Sorry.
No, when the most fun times is not when the characters are succeeding; it's when the characters are failing. So long as they're not failing all the time, when they're failing and like reacting to that and playing off of it, I really enjoy that. That's my favorite parts.
I enjoyed it when they took on Nomar and shit happened. I thought, oh yeah, let's see where this goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that was really entertaining, but like the only reason why
There still
'cause,
owes
yeah,
him up an apology for that.
Oh, now that
I
he's
guess.
Bando Akeem.
But yeah, no, like I think failing is fun. That's a sentence I don't think I'd ever thought I'd say. Failing is fun, but
Failing,
it's
failing is
situations
fun.
like that. Yeah, it's situations like that where I'm just like, oh, this is really interesting, but oh my god, I hope no one dies.
This is why
In a way, I don't mind if my character dies.
Yeah.
In a way, dying would be fun too. So,
I mean, this is why I've asked you all to think of a mortal backup character, because then I don't have to be afraid if one of you does die.
Yeah, now
a
that
mortal backup character.
thing to die.
Children.
But
Someone doesn't know the Twitch terms of service.
I think we're
Feature
small enough
streamer
to
right
get
there.
away with that, hopefully.
Yeah.
So next week
Oh,
we're going
yeah.
to be on a new channel. Talking of new characters, Groundhog, because I had to make your character. I didn't have to, but I thought it best to make your character for you to integrate you easily, and that failed fucking terribly. But if you were given a chance to make your own character, what would you make?
Yes, join us.
That's a hard question because I've got a whole bunch of little ideas.
Well, you don't have to
and
stick
playing
yourself to
around.
just one. You can say,
we need somebody with that.
But
you know, I would make a Gangrel because, or I would make a Bruja because.
But like none of them are like. I need to actually assign and read through every single because I've only really read through the Toreadors at the. I've been coming up with different ideas that could integrate in, but I just need to actually read up on the different groups.
It
Another
would be fun to have a Toreador in the group.
Yeah, Toreador would be fun. Another Anarch that isn't a Bruja would also be fun. because Xavier needs
An Anarch
needs a
Toreador would
friend.
be fun.
Hmm.
You flipped off the last one.
What?
It's a masquerade ball.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
she was being mean. Ouch!
But yeah, I am actually looking
Nice
at
one.
You
different
like when the
You're not
red
supposed
water
to
comes
point
out?
the
Characters.
knife towards yourself.
So do you
We call
have-
that
Trying to get into
immersion.
this bottle of liquor, damn it!
Call that immersion, Miss Harsh. Do that on Saturday.
do you can you get the biting for me, please, Fast Cut? Do you have a top 3, top 5?
I don't think I know.
Top 10, all of them.
what do you mean?
Top 3
Plans?
potential clans for you, or have you not read enough into them
Yeah.
yet?
Well, like I've read a little bit of the different ones. I do like Toreadors. The Toreadors are interesting.
Okay.
To me.
Toreador is what I usually play.
Like the Malkavians are interesting, but I'd never play one. I've played too many, let's say, interesting characters in past. I do like the Ventral. What? Ventral.
Venture.
Oh, we don't have a Ventru other than Prince.
We don't have a Toreador either.
No.
Yeah, pretty much at the moment, I just the two that have caught my eye are the Toreadors and the Ventru.
Okay. Interesting.
I think in this group, because of your accent, those two work perfect. I don't know
That's
why, but
Hmm.
seriously, I don't know why, but because it's more exotic, quote unquote, that it would be somebody. Well, I mean,
have you
I mean, yeah,
considered
because
the
the
Sombra?
one,
that too.
the one
Well,
Toreador that we
It's gotta be
interact with
so
on the
pedantic.
regular is, talks very stoically to us all the time. So
He talked
The-
down to us all the time.
yeah,
Oh,
but in
I-
a stoic fashion.
That reminds me, I have to say, I really, really love just the sort of subtlety that I'm starting to find from or that I can sort of see in what's her name's
Pandora?
like Pandoria, just in that the playing of that character. I really enjoy
Ev-
that.
Everyone loves Pandora.
She's
tired
my
of our
favorite.
shit and she's not even here.
She's my favorite NPC character at the moment.
yeah, he's
Vince-
someone who doesn't think
Do-
Harry's
do-
number 1.
Do you know the background of Pandora?
Yes, I do.
That she was originally my character?
My favorite NPC is either the Seneschal or the Prince.
Really?
I like having a character we can hate, and the Seneschal is great for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
And
we all
Eris
hate
plays
Eris
him
already,
so
right?
perfectly.
yeah. When we were talking about characters we love to hate, I'm like, Seneschal.
Yeah, I
Harry.
don't think I've met the Seneschal yet. No, Harry's great. Yeah, the Ventru have fortitude, so they're really stout and resolute, much like the Kiwi.
Ah,
Kemi's asking why you like the Seneschal.
Me?
Because he's perfect to hate.
What are the hateful characteristics?
Eris plays him
he's
so well.
conniving.
I swear
He's
Eris just plays who he
conniving.
wants to be
He's
in real life.
pretentious.
Hmm.
like every to me, he's
Yeah,
the
he blackmails us.
relatable.
Yeah,
He's the relatable elder in every vampire movie I've ever seen.
Hmm.
He's a pompous
that whole
dick.
"I'm better than you" vibe. Yeah.
Hmm. The I could stab you in the back at any point type of tone to his voice.
So he doesn't
mean,
even
it-
act Canadian at all.
No,
No.
he does a very good
to be
Sombra.
completely, To be completely honest, the first time I heard the Seneschal's voice, I didn't realize it was Eris.
Really?
I listened to it and I
But
was
he
like,
plays the
who
Seneschal so
is that?
perfectly.
I was like, that's Stormy playing the prince, but who's that? Who's the other person? And then it was like one word he said that my brain just went, that's Eris, isn't it?
Was it the word a boot?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah,
That and he
That's
said
the
something about
purple.
IPAs.
briefing Eris on becoming the Seneschal was a lot of fun. It was like, I think you're going to enjoy this character because you're basically a social Darwinist. It's like, oh, okay.
I feel like Eris really embraces that role because every time he speaks in it, you're just like it clicks for him. You
I
know,
There are,
he's
all
also
I
tired
just-
of our shit. He's not even here.
there are
all
some
I-
people
all I-
who just like to role play as the complete polar opposite of what they are, and Eris is one of them.
Yeah, I don't
I
think Eris would hurt a bone in anybody's body.
also just remembered that the Seneschal is a big upgrade for Eris, considering the last time we cast him as something, he was an inflatable pilot.
I forgot about that.
Doing an airplane remake.
It was kind of based on
Okay,
that. Yeah.
Skete.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I
Should I
enjoyed
say
it.
arigato?
You're the most likely to know what he's saying.
I know. I don't know what he said though.
Do you have any other favourite characters? Do you have any characters you really hate and can't stand?
Well,
Please say Harry.
I'm wearing a shirt that I made because I like the character so much. So does that answer your question?
Well, it does, but I was asking Groundhog.
Sorry.
I just find Harry to be a bit obnoxious, to be honest.
Thank you.
So you know what's awesome about Harry? How much Shiver hates doing him. That's
I
why
mean,
we love Harry.
Let's be honest here, though. He's supposed to be the opposite of what Xavier is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that,
He's a Nosferatu, a Camarilla Nosferatu informant to an Anarch Bourgeois.
I also
So
my
Kemi has a
favorite
good
part.
question.
Yeah, that is a fantastic question. Sorry, Noskavian. Please finish.
I said, "Oh, so is that why Harry is so friendly and likable?"
Wow.
Yeah. You're not gonna
What-
hurt my feelings with that. Yeah.
One of my other
Well,
favorite parts about Harry is Shiver hates playing him, but whenever Shiver plays him, Shiver gets real into it.
He
That's
does.
Harry, isn't it? Really fucked myself
Yeah.
over with Harry so fucking much.
We need to make you play Valley Girl more.
Oh, oh my
Oh,
god. I
God.
can't do the Valley Girl accent for like too long.
Or a Welshman.
That's okay. I eat her by that point anyway.
Right. Yeah, go on, please.
Also, I do like the Worcestershire cat. Worcester cat.
I mean, to be
Worcestershire.
fair, it was
That
just
was
Harry as a
interesting.
Worcestershire.
Can you
Bless
just
you all.
pronounce these British words?
I mean, if anyone's got a
Occasionally.
good chance of doing it, it is you.
Yeah, because I literally
Oh,
these streets named Worcester.
It's a
Worcestershire,
British name. I thought
Yeah.
it was an ingredient.
Gloucestershire.
Sure.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of different street names that are all British. Yeah, it's just
Fish sauce. There we go.
English.
Um,
But you go.
Kemi's asked a fantastic question. What about characters that you fear?
Lorvan.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
By the way, I love Pandora, but there's a little part of me that a little part of her that terrifies me.
Mercy.
It might just be the Toreador. Mercy, yep, Mercy, definitely.
Mercy is a fucking werewolf.
But it's so hard though because Fastcart plays him and Fastcart's so nice. Even
Yeah.
when he's playing like he's a really nice werewolf and it's just like, no,
I
bad,
know.
no, you're evil, go away.
I know. Fast Cut's super nice, and Mercy's super nice, but Mercy is a
Mhm.
fucking werewolf.
Exactly.
But we just saw him kill 3 Thin Bloods and a vampire. But he's so nice.
Now, and I don't know if we ever changed it, but Mercy was the werewolf that attacked me, right, Shiv?
That's
'Cause I
too
think
messy
Fast
to
Car
answer,
mentioned-
honestly, so I'm just not going to answer.
Okay.
I'll let Fast
That's
Car
fair.
answer that one.
Well, at some point I thought Fastcart said that, or no, it was the doctor. The doctor said that Mercy wasn't a werewolf that attacked me. And I was like, that's BS, dude.
There you go, maybe. Smiley face. Anyone else? Characters that you fear? Just Lorvan and a little bit of Pandora. Pandora's
The
so nice.
Zamisi is worth it.
Mm.
The character I don't fear that I think we're supposed to, but maybe not now, is the prince.
Mhm.
Really, you don't fear the prince?
I mean, I
I do.
fear repercussions from the prince, but like one-on-one, don't necessarily fear the prince.
Why?
I think I
Other than
get the
she's
same,
older than me, but
I get the same fear when thinking about the prince as I do when thinking about Pandora, but like tenfold.
the prince could have us killed, and that part is fearful. But the prince herself,
You should see her character sheet. So many
What generation
dots.
is she?
yeah. I mean, she is the prince.
Mm-hmm.
Joke's on you guys. I can just run back to Anarch territory and be like, help! War!
What does Xavier think of the Scourge?
Pardon, sorry? Muscavian?
What does Xavier
The
think of the
scourge is
Scourge?
kind of scary.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Scourge is just as scary as the Anarch's version of the Scourge, just multiplied by... There's, what, 8 of them? I
The
mean,
Scourge was
here's the thing, Shiver. As a human being, 1 bullet can kill me. That doesn't mean I'm more scared of 30. So just because one's stronger than the other one, I'm going to die at the same rate. I'm just as scared of both of them. Does that make sense?
For reference, the prince is 6th generation.
oh.
See, now my pen pal was saying that maybe she's not as old as she's trying to say she is. So that probably has something to do with it too.
The only
Hashtag
thing
not my
Xavier's
prince.
Now,
truly fearful of is his sire.
This is where it gets a bit befuddled, because she could be 6th generation, but not necessarily very old. The two aren't always tied together.
That's true. Cedra's 12th
Yeah, she's-
generation, but not really.
All I gotta say about the Scourge is the fact that he scared Amon enough that now Amon wants to be the Scourge. And if it's so scary, it's motivating.
Xavier would be more fearful of the sheriff than the Scourge.
Really?
I know, but to be
Scourge-
fair, this
Yeah, because in his eyes, the Scourge came after shitty us. The sheriff was fighting a fucking deity or some shit.
Second Inquisition agent.
Constable is actually Ventru.
Constable, sorry, not sheriff, but
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Canonically, technically, the correct terminology would be sheriff. I'm just trying to get myself in the habit of calling our sheriff a constable because the
because
purposes
it's
of
in
the game.
Oxford.
Yeah.
But I'd say for Xavier, the one person he's not fearful of those people. He's wary of them, like because Xavier already lives on an edge where he's like, I'm probably going to die. Like he wants to kill his sire, who is stronger than him. He was stronger than him at the beginning. Ideally, he should grow stronger than him every step of the way. So the only person he fears is his sire, partially because it's his sire too.
Isaac.
Now, the Scourge is scary to Cedra, not because she's personally scared of him, but because he can kill her friends and she can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isaac. Who does Isaac fear?
Mercy, the werewolf.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, most the other people, Isaac hasn't really, because the Scourge isn't after Isaac. The Prince seemed friendly enough. Isaac actually doesn't hate Lorvan like everyone else. Isaac thinks Lorvan is a perfectly fine fellow. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much Mercy's a werewolf. That's terrifying. Isaac has not seen the Sesame Seed that everyone else. Isaac, he would probably fear the Ripper, but he hasn't seen the Ripper, so I don't know if he can fear the Ripper.
So close to fearing the Reaper.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just said don't fear the Ripper.
And, but Isaac probably doesn't fear the Reaper because he deals with ghosts all the time.
Isaac probably is the freaking Reaper.
I mean, how can you fear the Ripper when you don't know who he is, or what it is, or she?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And
I kind of do feel like at this point we've gotten so far away from the Ripper that's like in the back of our mind, but not really so much a thing. So it's not really scary.
Yeah. And like also Isaac's perspective on death is different just because he's so knowledgeable of the Shadowlands and he knows that there's another side of things. So he just kind of sees like it as like you're born, you live, and then if you become a vampire, you die and you have this undeath life, and eventually, whether you're living or dead, you're going to go to the Shadowlands. It's inevitable. At some point, you're going to just leave this world and go to the other side.
I think you play that really well, too. That, like, anytime someone's close to death or something, you're like, I can bring back. I can talk to him later. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I am hoping that you're going to let some necromantic fun things happen in the next section. But it is ultimately, I can sit here and I can plan out, you will get on the Titanic somehow and it sinks and you go up and get Frogurt instead.
Did they have Frogurt on the Titanic?
No.
No, of course not.
But did you know that the Titanic actually left port whilst it was on fire?
Yes, it did.
Huh.
It was a fire in Bunker. Was it Bunker 4?
I'm not sure of the number. I'll take your word for it. But
It was. I think it was on the bulkhead, like the 6th bulkhead. They, a lot of theorists say, "Oh, that weakened the bulkhead." Didn't fucking bulkhead. Didn't really even matter in the end.
Traven's out there asking the real questions.
Was there? Yes, absolutely.
Yes, there was definitely rum on the Titanic.
Yeah, I mean, if we are supposed to get on the MacGuffin Titanic or something like that, and we refuse to because we want to get Frogurt, you can just say, well, the closest Frogurt stand is on the Titanic.
Well,
so get your ass
then we would go.
Oh, I love that one, Traven. Did you know that after over 100 years, the swimming pool in the Titanic is still full?
No, it's no longer like in existence because I think that was near the stern, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's
Maybe
still
it was
filled with
a dad.
water.
It's a dad joke.
It doesn't matter how many pieces it's in; it's still filled with water.
It's a dad joke.
But can
Yeah.
you name? Knowing me, I would probably stick you not on the Titanic, but the Britannic or the Lusitania or the Olympic.
Just call
And
it
be
the
like,
MacGuffin.
What are you
Oh,
going to do with that?
God, God damn it! Why do you
I
have
mean, it's
to
made
name
out of
ships
wood.
that I
You could just
know?
pretend it's a coffin.
Because you're the only other person here who might know them.
And it just- what are they going to do about a fucking torpedo attack on the Lusitania? What are they going to do about a mine on the Britannic when it? They're going to go and jump into a fucking lifeboat, lower it down, get sucked into the fucking propellers, like they actually did.
I love this guy.
What was the
that mean?
first country the Titanic ended up trying to sail to?
Pardon, sorry?
What was the first, like, I'm going to ask everyone else here. What was the first, once the Titanic left port, what was the first country it sailed to? Anyone else know? France.
History was not my forte.
It sailed to France, then to Ireland, and then it was going over. That's the route they took.
Sorry, Alex, Atlantis.
Oh, wow, Draven. I can't even say that out loud. Not here.
I can't. It's awfully nice to visit Hiroshima in 1945.
No.
Did you hear about...
No, don't say that.
There
What's
was
my
a dude
opinion? I just read it out loud.
who lived in Hiroshima, survived the bombing, and was evacuated to Nagasaki, and was there for that bombing as well.
There was multiple people that ended up in that situation.
True.
But there was only one person that was verified to be in both locations.
So in middle school, when we were learning about this, one of my friends just randomly started singing Hiroshima, and it would get stuck in my head. So then he would follow me around singing Hiroshima.
What was the name of the fucking boat again?
Uh,
Lucky Dragon
Enola
number
Gay?
5.
I'm not familiar.
So, you know how, like the first use of an operational nuclear weapon was on Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just so happened when they were that there was a Japanese tuna fishing boat off the coast of the Bikini Atoll when the US exploded their first thermonuclear weapon, their first hydrogen bomb. And the first death caused by a hydrogen bomb was some of these Japanese fishermen on Lucky Dragon number 5.
The more you know.
Also, that's why that's the reason why the Bikini is named Bikini. It's because of the nuclear tests on the Bikini Atoll, and also why Bikini Bottom is called Bikini Bottom in SpongeBob.
Oh, interesting.
It's literally the bottom of the lagoon at Bikini Atoll.
Which explains Patrick.
Yes.
So, questions. Anyone here with questions? Do you have questions?
Any burning question?
What's the meaning of life?
42.
Beat me to
But what's the question?
Do you get it if you times 6 by 9? At least that's what it says in the book. Before everyone goes, did you just say that? Yeah, that's what it says in the book.
Who's the caveman? Yeah.
Does anyone actually remember any of the information that you actually extracted from the people in the...
I've showed this before. My notebook. My notebook is a London notebook.
Some
But
people
yeah, I am
actually are taking
writing
notes.
stuff down. Yeah, I'm actually taking notes.
I've got them on this page. But
The guest
I'm
was
one
more
of
organized than the
those
players.
weird. I have a notebook.
Who
I'm
do
one
you-
of those weird notebook addicts. I have a different notebook for everything. So this is my VTM notebook, and that's all it's used for.
I have a notebook for every character except I stole a character, like from one of my least used characters. I stole a book so that I could have a notebook for the Toreador that I keep forgetting. Dante, for Dante. So I've got a mixture of raving mad lunatic, what's it called? D&D character and Dante in a single book.
Sounds like Kalo.
I cannot.
There's
wait
a
to
reason
play
I'm not
Markavian.
saying anything about that. Don't want to give Kalo any ideas.
I so can't wait to play Markavian.
Fastcart has a question for Ms. Hartz. Has there ever been a moment you wish
Yeah.
I clipped but didn't? Oh yes,
No.
so many. No one has any questions then? Well, that's
I'm
good.
trying
I
to
haven't
think of
witnessed
one,
it.
but
I have a book of writing prompts here. Do you believe everything happens for a reason?
No.
Oh wait.
Mm.
Oh god. And that's reminding me of a idea I had for a character where there would be like this whole idea of like fate. Every time something happened to the party, it was because of fate. Basically, it was basically me just joking about the fact that the GM usually gives you stuff that you actually want to use on something.
That sounds real meta and kind of interesting.
Shaman asks,
do you believe in magic?
how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, you see, a woodchuck
I
would
never
chuck no
remember.
amount of wood because a woodchuck would not chuck wood.
How
I was gonna
much?
say, I never
How
remember
much
the
ground
answer.
could a groundhog hold if a groundhog could hog ground? I need to know that one because my name is Groundhog.
12.
How does one hold
42.
ground?
I don't fucking know.
This is my ground. No one else can have it.
1 5 foot square.
Everyone here except Nitro can stand their ground.
I have Fastcart.
We can all hold our ground.
Don't segregate Fastcart from not being able to hold his
Oh
ground.
my god.
I nearly got vodka up my nose.
You think that's bad? Fastcar actually DM'd me something earlier that I'm not going to say on stream.
So, next session is mostly downtime. Things in between what's going on at the moment. So, I to stop it descending into some sort of comedic episode, I have decided to introduce some drama to at least two of the characters, and hope that it
Oh
just
no!
doesn't.
Nobody killed.
Wait, we
Kalo's
know
dog
one.
again,
Who's the
did
other one? No.
they? No one
And
killed Kalo's dog again, did they?
No.
Doesn't matter. He never shows up to bitch about it.
Keep killing Kalo's
That's
dog
true.
over and over and over again. Just gets resurrected.
That'll explain why he's not here so often. He's always flying back to China to clone his dog
Get a
again.
new dog.
Shall I ask that question Fastcart said or not? First of all, Fastcart, you're a fucking terrible person.
Oh man.
Oh, that question didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
Oh.
I do actually have a somewhat related answer to that though, because the Banu Hakim used to get darker as they aged,
Mm.
and that was something they took out. And I had come up with some before I knew they took that out. I had come up with some explanation for why I didn't. Can't remember what it was. Something like I was so pale to begin with, or something. I'd come up with some explanation, but then he was like, "Don't worry about it because it's not a thing anymore."
Probably for the best.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's not a thing anymore for the same reason that Ravnos isn't a thing anymore.
They increase to hard mode the older they get.
Yes.
Oh wow.
You
I
just
miss
took
Kemi
that joke
already.
from South Park. Do you guys remember the South Park video game that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difficulty slider.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For wait, South Park?
It
I'll
South
wasn't,
tell you
Park
later,
video game.
Isaac.
it wasn't Stick of Truth that did that.
Okay.
It was
No.
Fractured but whole.
thank
Oh,
you.
I've
It was
played
Stick of Truth, though.
I thought it
haven't
was Stick
played-
of Truth.
It
Maybe
might
they
have
did it
been
in
both. It was probably both.
Probably both, honestly. Yeah.
Thank God Kemi is here. Jesus.
Fraction butthole.
We still
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Correct.
The
I
fractured
didn't hear
butthole.
that correct. I didn't hear it correctly.
Fun fact with the South Park movie, they submitted the original edit to the censors and they just suggested a load of edits to make it whatever. They ignored it, did their own edits and made it worse, and then the censors were like, yeah, that's fine. But they
Yep.
did have to
I
change the
love-
name from the original.
I love the South Park guys so much.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
No, that's all gone. So, anyone got any things they want to bring up, talk about? Anyone got any last minute questions before we just fuck off?
Should I pick up the writing prompts again?
Okay. I just
Sorry,
like
it
it
was
because
just
you lean
last-
forward, to be honest.
Last
Write
Yeah,
about how
last-
you're similar to a cactus.
I'm a giant prick.
Done.
He's right, you know.
What makes you feel uncomfortable more than it should?
My
Being a
first
giant prick.
I Tina beat me to it.
What will be the premise for the next show? Well, okay. So it's going to be mostly downtime, set like a massive majority of which are going to be in the Coterie Haven. There's going to be a return to the curio shop. I believe I can tell you that. And it's going to have
I
changed.
like the curio shop.
It's going to be slightly different.
The what shop?
The curio
Ooh,
shop.
interesting.
The pawn shop. The
That we bought the cup
where
set?
we yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know about it. Surprise!
That's the place. Yeah, that's the place you went to right before the masquerade ball to get the prince's gift.
Oh
How
yeah, because
easy
we
are
have to go do
drugs
the
get in
ritual.
BTM.
Very.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
mean,
Jack
yes.
has no problem with it.
yeah. I mean, the world of darkness is meant to be a dark reflection of the real world, so it should be easy enough. If you just picture almost something dystopian, that's what it is. However, Kindred don't get any effect off taking drugs straight up. Like we have an Archon Jack, who is Malkavian, and who constantly snorts cocaine or imbibes
Question.
other substances,
Question.
but they don't affect him.
Question regarding that, actually.
Hmm?
Oh, so that's what whitefish is.
Can he actually blush a life while he does that and get the effects from it?
No.
Mm.
Nope. that's
So
not
we
how
can blush a life and
And
get
the
drunk.
blush of life is appearance, right?
Right.
Yes, Blush of Life gives you a bit of an appearance. It gives you enough of a body heat so you wouldn't show up as a blank body to the Second Inquisition.
It also lets you get boners.
And it lets you fake sexual intercourse.
Not me.
Yeah, it lets you have sex. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe that Cedra is now so low in humanity, even Blush of Life wouldn't have that effect.
It's alright, she couldn't get boners to begin with.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
there's other uses for the blood.
I'm sorry,
did-
but whenever I know Blush of Life is used for many other things, but whenever I hear it, that's where my brain goes.
It's just a
You think boner of life.
it's
Yeah.
it's a vampire version of Viagra.
Mm. And Miss Hards, that sounds like a really interesting South Park episode.
Kemi asks, do the kindred like the curio shop?
Yes.
I didn't
Miss-
actually go in.
It's just
You know
a
what
shop.
the curio shop reminds me of?
Something an old man would like.
Hmm.
Yes. Oh, okay. It reminds me of Mr. Ox's shop. If no one gets it, fine with them. Oh, you don't get it, Shiv? You might have to look up who Mr. Ox is.
And why?
I'll tell you afterwards. Huh?
Why?
Well,
do
it's a
you like the
curio
shop?
shop, first of all. I like the shop because
Oh,
Just-
he was in Vampire. the
oh, you
Masquerade.
googled it.
Well, of course I googled it. You were telling him to look
yeah.
it up.
Yeah. So, Mr. Ox. So, you Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. When you get to what is it, Chinatown or whatever, that curio shop with the old guy who is something supernatural. That's Mr. Ox. And he sends you on some like kind of weird quests. Like I think you have to steal the eyes of like a thief or something like that, greedy eyes or something like that. It was a fun part of the game. So whenever we went to the curio shop with the old guy, it just made me think of Mr. Ox's shop. That's all.
I thought of something very different when I made it.
Ah,
But good
I
fantastic
was
reference.
thinking of like the type of shop in Gremlins or like
Oh, yeah.
any that movie trope curiosity shop where you're going to get something that's haunted or possessed or has some sort of secret magic in it that you don't know when you're buying it.
It's
Your
literally
closest.
an army surplus store, but for shit.
It's a metaphysical army surplus store.
Yeah, like it's just a shop. There's no, we don't go get quests from this guy. We just went to buy something, and the doctor decided we were too broke, so he bartered for a thing, and it's just a shop.
Yeah, to be fair, we went there to buy something and we left with a quest for the doctor to go on.
Yeah, like, and he's got a place a ward, and yeah.
Pawn Stars. Yeah, Pawn Stars. Vampire
I like
Pawn Stars.
Scott, I'm hoping the reference I've thrown in when you go into the curio shop is going to give away what I based it on.
the monkey's paw.
Do we still get Frogurt?
Now I
hate
have to
Frogurt so
slightly
much.
change. It depends on how much you know about a certain movie franchise.
Are you finally letting me have a giant robot?
No.
Dang it. I was hoping the movie you were talking about was specifically.
Is it going to be like involve throwing a priceless artifact off the back of a research ship as an old woman?
I did kind of reference something like that before, where I was looking at the jewelry and I'm like, which one of these are haunted?
I'm just going to hope that you get the reference when it comes up.
It's not going to be a VHS tape that we have to, like, watch and then die in 7 days, is it?
Oh god.
Is it
Well,
going
he's-
to involve some British secret agent suddenly jumping in and saying his name weirdly.
Or is he going to take us to a back room where there's just one single light, a mattress, and a really shitty VHS camera?
No, we've
name's
already been to the
Ben.
Toreador domain.
We're
Yeah,
gonna put the
that's
VHS
Toreador.
tape in, and it's gonna be a hot and saucy film with 2 Nosferatu.
Man,
Oh,
I
God.
love the fact that you're referencing all these horror movies, but you're not saying the one horror movie that I intend to reference in it.
I'm purposely not referencing horror films.
Eraserhead?
Is it going to
Hellraiser.
involve flying piranhas?
No, and there's not going to be any giant spiders either.
We'll see.
It was quite funny that Nitro brought up The Ring, because I was talking to Ms. Hart yesterday about VTM and how I want to bring in a little bit more horror because it feels more like a mystery at the moment. And I said, well, I'm just going to have to think of an excuse to send you all to Japan and find a fucking little girl ghost or something.
Yes,
Crawl
please.
through TV.
Japanese ghosts are terrifying.
Yes.
Is it going to? I've
would
got
be
it.
an odd tale.
I've got it. It's going to involve birds and flocks of birds, isn't it?
Most of them are just like gifts that are superimposed over.
Wait, what's the shopkeep's name? Is it Mr. Kubrick?
We're gonna go in, and there's gonna
It's
be
The
two
Shining.
little girls holding hands, saying, "Please come play with us."
So you're going to be
Oh,
a
we
person
already did
riding
that.
a
On our
bomb.
roll.
We did already do that. Yeah.
I forgot
it-
that we already did that.
Are we going to suddenly see Armon riding a nuclear weapon out of a B-52?
Yes, please.
He's going to come in with this giant small nuclear reactor on a backpack that lets out a stream of photons.
How the vampires learned to stop worrying and love the bomb.
And we're gonna have to fight a giant interpretation of the Frogurt Man.
Possessed
Don't cross the
Kroger.
streams.
If you do, you're going to have to stay frosty.
Ooh. Oh, like the terrible B movie called Frosty with the killer snowman, except he's made out of Frogurt.
What's the temperature in Oxford right now?
So,
Not sure.
is it going to somehow
that
involve
Kroger's
veganism, but people being really angry about it, so they make goblins vegan and turn you into into plants so that they can eat you?
That's a roundabout
They're
way of getting
eating
to
her.
that plot point.
They're eating her, and they're gonna eat me too. Oh my god! Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Shiver was
hard-
giving me a disappointing look, so I wasn't sure if he knew what I was talking about.
Such
Right,
a hard.
that does ring a bell. Is that Trolls?
That's
I
Troll 2.
believe so.
Oh, is that the one
Troll,
where
troll.
the guy comes out and he's like, "It's garbage day."
Is that the same movie?
I don't remember.
Garbage
I remember-
Day.
All I remember about Troll is just Troll 2. I mean, is that it's not
You weren't a troll
trolls, it's goblins. I think in that one,
Mhm.
and it was just written. The entire plot was just written because the wife of the director of that film really hated vegans and vegetarians for some reason.
Interesting.
Also, everyone that acted in that movie could not speak English, and the movie was entirely in English.
Was it Labyrinth?
Yeah. Oh, so
Nobody
we're gonna
got-
have a humongous cod piece.
Yeah, there we go, Shiv. We can randomly find a gold coin.
And then stare at this gold coin for 3 hours while the
Edwin-
doctor tries to stick his finger on it and taste it the whole time.
And then when we take the gold coin for our own, the leprechaun will hunt us down.
I
Anyone got
was
any
just
good-
thinking.
Go on. Sorry.
I was just thinking that you guys would end up having this, having to take a steamship to like the US or something, and then being led on a giant chase across the entire US, being attacked by someone in a biplane, for some reason that then crashes into something. Can't even remember. And the final battle was on the monument with all the fucking presidents,
Rushmore.
like the four presidents.
Oh yeah,
Mount Rushmore, yeah.
Have you ever heard of the
I'm
movie
just sitting
SARS
here-
Wars?
Mm.
I think it's a Korean movie about zombies that turn into zombies from SARS, and it's something else. Anyway.
Zombie movies
Yes.
are great.
Food stories. Has anyone got any good food stories?
Food. I have more bacon in the
Yeah.
other room.
I miss bacon.
They don't have bacon there?
Not exactly.
No.
Then why did you eat there?
Sushi.
Sushi
You're
is
muted,
good.
Dina.
I had the equivalent of a large pizza and 2 tuna wraps for dinner today, and I'm so full.
I made the mistake of not eating one day last weekend.
I do that all the
Too busy
time.
to eat. And now it's like every subsequent day I am starving. It's like I'm trying to make up for that.
Yeah, I'll get really into working on something, and I'm like, oh, it's 1 a.m. I didn't eat dinner. Whoops.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
lunch. Or breakfast. Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
you go
Oh.
into ketosis. You will hate your life.
Mm-mm.
I'll just get into programming something at some point, and I'm just like typing away. I look up. Oh, it's light outside. Oh wait, it's it's like 7 a.m. in the morning. Oh, I've just pulled an all nighter. Oh, I didn't eat anything yesterday or today. Maybe I should go eat something.
I've been
I
sitting
miss
here
those
and I'm
days.
like, all right, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll go to bed soon. And next thing I know, are those birds I hear?
I sleep better during the day anyway. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now forced to go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I'm just lying there going, I used to be cool.
I like fast cards.
Yeah, that whole
food
job
story.
thing is.
Yeah, I'm gonna read Fast Cards food story. Fast Cards says, Desmarius gave me honey buns for my birthday. Oh, and he gave me pastries too.
The man loves his honey buns.
You know, Treven's right. Donuts are healthier than crystal meth. Now I
Yeah.
want
It
donuts.
depends on whether or not you have a crystal meth donut.
I bet they
You
make
know-
them at Voodoo Donut.
Probably. You probably also you don't really lose weight on donuts though.
Demi is going to
Trish.
make fried ice cream this weekend.
Ooh, that
Fried
sounds
ice cream is
good.
so good.
I'm going to go
Oh,
and have
God.
sushi tomorrow for
Mm.
the first
Fried
time in
ice cream
fucking
is-
months.
I have a refrigerator full of microwave meals. But I have bacon.
I want to make a pizza, but I can't be bothered making a pizza.
Sunday. Sunday we're going to Moss Burger, which is a Japanese burger chain. The burgers are about that big. They're very small.
So they're sliders.
I remembered
Maybe.
Moss Burger. I've seen a Moss Burger before in Singapore.
Oh, really?
It's great. Yeah.
I mean, Xavier owns a Mossberg shotgun, but
Kemi asked what type of roll shiver, and I'm really boring and plain. I only like salmon or tuna roll.
Mm.
I hate
I like the
avocado.
ones with Masago on top.
I don't really remember the Japanese name.
I don't
for
care what
but
it is, just put Masago on it.
I love the barbecued eel. Barbecued eel is really good.
Unagi.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that is good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I knew
unagi
that
is
most
good.
people call it by the Japanese name. I just couldn't remember what it was.
I remember having
What's that?
unagi in
I cooked it a
Australia.
while
I want
ago,
it. What is it?
2 years ago.
Chicken?
It's chicken caprese. Chicken breast with the skin on, mozzarella, spinach, olive oil, tomatoes.
I will say
I want a taco.
the one time I actually enjoyed having fish was when I had flounder, freshly caught flounder in Venice. That was amazing.
Sounds good.
I like my
I
women
caught
like I
a
like
red-
my chicken. With the skin on.
Bone in?
That's
That one's better.
Yeah.
Mm. No, I'm not typically a big fish eater because I don't like the strong
I
fishy
love
flavor.
fish.
But I did catch a redfin bass, I think, out of a river and then immediately threw it into a frying pan, and that was delicious.
Yeah, that's I fresh fish I'm fine with. Frozen fish, can't.
I think Kemi beats bone in with spicy and moist.
I mean, like some
Spicy,
fish-
moist, and in my hands.
some fish does taste fishy, but other fish does not taste fishy. Also,
Yeah.
like if you get a tuna steak tastes nothing like canned tuna. They're very
Mhm.
different.
Yes. That's very true.
Any sort of preserved fish of some description is going to have a very different taste and texture. I find
Yeah.
to like. So
Like,
again, like the frozen fish is going to have like this weird taste to it, and it's going to have a very different texture. Same with anything canned.
Preserved fish, like what's it called? The canned fish that you can buy. That's like a delicacy in like Norway or something like that.
Sweden.
Are you
But
talking about
it's-
lutefisk?
That's it.
No.
Oh, lutefisk.
Well,
I'll never
lutefisk.
eat-
Lutefisk
is
sounds
one.
terrible.
I'll never.
No, there's another one. It's like it's
Pickled
got
herring?
bird in the name. No, this stuff is known as the smelliest food in the world, and most people.
lutefisk.
I might
I
have
think
to
so.
look it
I
up.
think that's
But it's funny
it.
because there's
No,
There's
lutefisk. The
videos-
thing with lutefisk is it's rehydrated
It's
with fly.
mhm.
Yeah,
Which
it's
who does that and goes, yeah, I'm gonna eat that.
There
it's
are.
like fish jelly.
I think it's Greenland. One of their delicacies, even they hate it, is shark meat preserved in urine.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That's
Even they
actually
fucking
why
hate it.
most people that's why most people don't really like eating stingray, is because stingrays don't have one central place that they urinate from. They just secrete out of their skin, so their skin
Traven's knowledge number 144. I like my women like I like my coffee. Ground up and in the freezer.
Did you know you are not supposed to store your coffee that way?
That's what I was wondering. Who puts coffee in the freezer?
Yeah,
Right?
I've heard that joke a different way.
I like.
Groundhog, you haven't even joined yet. You're out.
Wait, what?
Pick up the fucking whitefish. Pick up the fuck. No whitefish.
We do need to pick up our whitefish.
No, we don't. We really
It's gotta be
don't.
pretty smelly at this point.
We really don't have to.
One pound whitefish.
It's fine. It's been preserved in urine.
I don't doubt that.
Oh,
Don't give him ideas.
It's not
That
even mine. That's
whitefish is
Baylor.
really- Well, I think what the code we probably did is we probably set up a delivery to have all the whitefish delivered to Kalo's house.
oh.
Well, no, because the whitefish sometimes isn't just whitefish.
Oh,
I still need to pick up my whitefish that I got at the masquerade.
I love the evolution that you've all had since we've been playing this game. We first started playing this game, and it's like, doors. I was going to open it. It's fucking locked. Well, where's the key? You don't have a fucking key to a stranger's door. How do you normally get in? Shit, I don't know. What do we do? Shit, what do we do? And now, they eventually work out. You knock. And now it's got to this point. You meet a door. Every time.
Yep.
It's like, you meet a new character or you're given a new thing. I don't fucking
so
trust
much
it.
anymore.
It's like,
Not-
there's
not-
a new object that you've just been
not
given. And they're like,
every door.
poke it with a stick. Has it got fangs? Could it kill us? Oh god, I don't know what
I mean,
this
I've
is.
been
No.
Yeah, see,
I've
there's
been
not
put
knocking
in
so
by a
much
book.
anymore because of that.
It eventually gets to the point where instead of like you find you go up to a door of a house. What do? I smash in the window.
I've given
Xavier
up.
might get more that way.
I've given
More?
up with the whole. So you park your car and you get out because I've learned my lesson now. You park your car. Now what do? Because there's always another 10-minute fucking committee about what you're going to do while you're in the fucking car. And then-
Character gets
told us
out.
to do
Character
that.
starts walking. Character
That's
does
true.
not get followed.
And then at that point, Xavier pipes up and says, "I think it's safe. We can assume we got out of the car." I don't fucking know anymore what to do or what to think.
That's why when Amon is done talking now, I just say, yeah, and Amon just starts walking. It's like, I'm done with this conversation. You guys are idiots.
Oh, I'm just
I just-
assuming whenever Amon is in the car now that he's honking the horn.
I just RP like I would in real life, and if we were going to the car, we'd go to the car. If I don't say, I'm walking to the car now.
Do you
Like-
knock on the car door
Wait.
before you get in?
No.
Yeah.
You telling me you guys don't narrate every action you take in real life?
left step, right step, left step, left.
What do you think this is? A Pixar movie?
Left step, right step, right step, right step, right step. I
Let's
lost
try-
my left leg.
There, that'd be Dr. Bowie.
Roll forward.
Well, anything
Ministry
else?
of
Any last
silly
minute
walks.
questions or statements that anyone wants to put out, even in chat? Before you say it, Fastcar, yes, I know she is. Absolutely beautiful, of course. What else could it be?
And he says roll
Anyway.
out, so I'm confused.
Autobots roll out.
Yeah.
All right then.
I think
Well-
Frogurt is the new white.
Oh no.
Do we
What's
have?
going to be the new Frogurt?
Because we're doing it a day later this week than normal because we're alternating at the moment between every other week. So we'll be on Saturday, normal people's time
Yeah.
zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday for Groundhog
Sunday.
and I. Because we're not in normal
Same
people's time zone.
time, different day.
We're not
Yeah,
in
same time.
American exclusiveness time.
I like that.
We don't care about your time then.
We need to establish standard Earth time, guys.
Yeah, that's just going to be like like either Pacific or Eastern
GMT.
US, and we're all going. If the rest of the world is going to be fucked.
Small trivia for you, but do you know where all time in the world is measured from?
Greenwich.
Big Ben, isn't it?
No.
No.
Big
it's
Ben is
Greenwich-
first of all the bell.
Greenwich,
That's why
Greenwich
it's a GMT.
Observatory.
Yeah, Greenwich Mean
Greenwich
Time.
Meantime.
All comes from
It's
London.
actually UTC at this point, Universal Coordinated Time.
GMT never goes away.
I'm pretty sure
GMT
there's a
is-
line. There's a line in Greenwich that shows exactly where, like, it starts or whatever.
GMT
Yep.
never goes away, even when people observe daylight savings. It always stays there. It does not
I
change.
hate daylight savings time.
But that's why if everybody would just go from that time, it'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Weird
Is that
though.
true,
You'd
Traven?
be going to,
Big Ben and the Liberty Bell were built by the same company.
do really enjoy though whenever anyone uses GMT because I can just go plus 12.
What
I'm
about the
just-
Taco Bell? Where was that built?
The ta-
Man, I want tacos.
America, actually, ironically.
Yeah.
Do you know what the name of the tower that Big Ben is in is?
Little John.
Oh,
Oh,
John.
So Big Ben's not in Little John.
I actually thought Big Ben was the name of the tower, and I didn't think the bell had it.
Most people
It's,
do.
it's I know the name of the tower, but I'm not saying it because
Bigger Ben?
no.
Go on,
I
Groundhog,
follow
show
it
off
on
your knowledge.
What is that American?
Elizabeth Tower.
Named after the current Queen of England.
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
it was originally
follow
called
Big
Clock
Ben
Tower,
on
wasn't
Twitter.
it? Just called Clock Tower for some reason.
Attached to the
Wait,
Palace of
then
Well,
who's
you
Westminster.
got a bunch
Ben?
of
The
dumb
Palace of
Englishmen
Westminster
together.
itself, that isn't the original Palace of Westminster. That was completely blown up during the Blitz. That's been
Yeah.
rebuilt.
Wait, then
Um,
who's Ben and why is he inside the Queen?
The great
Uh,
bell of the clock is called Big Ben.
Well,
The
it's
tower
big.
was originally named Clock Tower, but was renamed in 2012, I think, because that was the Diamond Jubilee
That sounds about right.
of, yeah.
It's basically
So,
like,
of the
oh my
Queen.
god, you haven't died yet. How the fuck is this happening? Have a clock tower.
Yeah,
Diamond
the
Jubilee's
White House
50
burned
years?
down and was rebuilt.
60 years? Can't remember.
Anyway, let us fucketh offeth. We'll be back on Saturday.
60
Hopefully,
years.
hopefully with more than enough people because we have a special guest again on Saturday. And we'll see you then. Thank you all for coming.
Have a good night.
Hit
Vote.
That was a really good one. And of course, thank you, Groundhog, for coming and guesting with us and coming back for Burning Questions. Hopefully,
Yes.
you will always welcome. You'll come back again.
Vote.
Hopefully. Hopefully I'll be allowed.
Of course, always. Toodles, ducklings.